Hello everyone, let's solve today's Leetcode problem. This problem is given us two arrays. One is words, which is an array of strings, and all the strings are in lowercase. And the other array is queries, which is an array of arrays, and each array have two elements. One is left index and the other is right index. And we have to return an array which is equal to length of queries, and for each query I have to add result and return this. So let's take an example. If query is 0 and 2, at 0th index there is a string ABA, and at second index it is ECE, and I have to find total number of words in this range inclusive 0 and 2 which have first and last character as vowel. So in this first query from 0 to 2, there are two such strings which have its first and last character as vowel, which is BCB and ECE. So the answer to first problem is 2. Now for second query, which is 1, 2, 4, in this query we have three such strings: ECE, double A and E. These are the strings which have first and last character as vowel. So the answer to this second query is 3. And for this last query 1 and 1, we have only one string, and this string don't have first and last character as vowel. Therefore the answer to this third query is 0. So at last I have to return this as an result. So the first approach which came into mind is that for every query in queries, I will first get left index and right index from this queries, which is in this case is 0 and 2. And then for this range in words, I will found number of words such that first and last index characters are vowel, and then append that into result. But this solution will result into big O of n square complexity, which will result in TLE. So we have to find more efficient solution. So until now what we have seen, that we have got a range, and for this range I have to find total number of strings such that their first and last index has vowel. So if I have to find number of such strings in this range, so that will be equal to number of such strings in this array minus number of strings in this array. So what I am saying, that we can use a prefix sum for this count. Let's make prefix sum array. So the first string, which is ABA, the first string is valid because the first and last characters are vowel. So I will add 1. I have found, until now I have found one such string. Now the other is BCB, which is not a valid string. Until this index I haven't found a new string. So the answer is 1, because until this index I have only found one such string which is valid. Now let's go to another index. As we can see, ECE is a valid string. The total number of strings I have found until now is 2. One is ECE and the other is ABA. Now let's go to next index, and the next string is AAA, which is a valid string because A and A are vowels. So until this I have found 3, and for the last index it is also a valid string. So until now I have found 4 such string. So this is our prefix sum array for count. So if I have to find solution for this query, which is 1 and 4, which is this range, so what can I do? That this is the left and this is the right index. So until right index, the total number of count which I have found is 4, and we can minus total number of count before the left, which is 1 in this case, which give us 3. So for this query I have found that total number of valid strings are 3 in this range. So this is our intuition. Now let's see the solution for this problem. First I have created an helper function is vowel, and this function is taking a character as an input and return true if that character is vowel. And then in our vowel string function I am first creating a prefix sum. For this I am taking an every word one by one, and then I am checking if that character is a valid, if that word is a valid string, then I am updating my prefix sum to 1. And then if index of that word is greater than 0, then I am adding the previous of valid strings. At last, I am creating a result array in which I am taking query one by one, and I am then taking left and right from that query. Then I am adding the result, and at last I am returning my result.